work at a chicken hatchery.
How does it make you feel doing that? Is that something you want to support, and can you justify it? You're just as guilty as you.
I think some of it's reality and some of it's cruel.
Some of it's reality and some of it's cruel.
Yeah.
Explain that a bit more.
I used to work at a chicken hatchery. Some chickens are deformed and all that. They get crushed and disintegrated.
Right.
Which is normal, the same day that they're born.
So you worked in the hatchery?
I worked in that.
Did you used to sex them male and female?
No.
What did you used to do in the hatchery?
I used to separate papers when they were born. They were in a tray. They're stuck on papers. And I had to pull them off if there was blood stuck.
Okay.
And the good ones that throw and the other ones went through.
Okay, so we used to throw them into the macerator. What did you used to do?
No, I didn't throw them in. The conveyor belt took them in.
The conveyor belt took them in. How does it make you feel doing that?
To me, at that point in time, was reality to the job.
What about now, looking back?
Yes, I think it was still fair.
It was fair.
Yeah, because they were cruel. Like some of them didn't have, some of them were deformed and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it happens to the males go into that same macerator just for being male, right?
No, it was all sex. Both sex went in.
Both sex went into the macerator. No. So in the hatcheries, they get male and female, right? And the males don't produce eggs. So the males go to the macerator. The females go off to be exploited, either a free range.
No, this is local hatchery. This is in the Southampton area.
Yeah.
And what it was is they went through a conveyor belt. They rated. When they went into the trade to go elsewhere,
yeah,
then they got separated elsewhere.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. So you just had males and females in that tray, and then they went off to be separated somewhere else. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So now you know where they were going, right?
Yeah.
So eventually, when they were separated male and female, the males would have been put into that same macerator.
Yeah.
What's your emotions when you see animals going through that kind of exploitation and suffering?
Yes, most of it was cruel.
Cruel?
Yeah. I mean, if they would have been taught a better way of doing it.
What would that look like?
If the company would have been taught humanity to them, then that would be a different outcome.
What would a humane version of that look like? How could we humanely do the wrong thing?
I don't know what country that came from.
That's UK standard.
That's UK standard?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is wrong in today's standards.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why would you say it's wrong?
We're in a world where we can control everything, and some countries can't control them. Some of them just has it for food and stuff like that, but we have it for everyday use, everyday food.
Well, I think one of the important things you touched on is we have the control. We have the control of our choices.
Yeah.
So we can either choose to continue to put animals in them positions, or we could choose to not. What would you choose?
I would choose that the owners of that company and the workers in that company that thinks it's right should be dealt with criminal offense.
So you feel strongly against that? That's wrong.
That was wrong.
Do you currently pay for it to happen? Are you vegan or are you non-vegan?
I'm non-vegan.
Okay, so you have strong views against the people who are actually doing that to the animals,
yeah.
But at the moment you're just as guilty as you're the person paying for it, right? Is that fair to say?
No, it's not fair to say, because at the end of the day, that animal went through suffering to get to our plate. If you like, and I can't waste the food, even though it was wrong for them to do that. The animals did suffer to get to the plate.
If I gave you £50,
yeah,
and I said you could put that £50 towards continuing to pay for animals to suffer, or you could put that £50 towards liberating animals and stopping their suffering, where would you put that £50?
Yeah, to stop the suffering.
Okay, that broken down is basically, would you live a vegan lifestyle or a non-vegan lifestyle?
Non-vegan lifestyle.
No, at the moment you're living a non-vegan lifestyle. But what you've just answered the way that a vegan would answer that question. A vegan would take their £50 and they'd pay it into a system that liberates animals and stop exploiting them. At the moment, you put the £50 in the other pile. You're paying for animals to go into slaughterhouses, but you're against it.
Yeah.
Would it be something you'd change? Would you go vegan?
No, because vegan, all the fruit and veg are dealt with chemicals.
Right.
So you're putting chemicals in your body at the same time. So the apples, oranges, the pears, the peaches, the fruit and veg they all get chemical treated, don't like
they use pesticides
and stuff like that. So is that healthier for you?
Well, look, you're discussing health now rather than rights.
Yeah.
Just so you know that the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics is the largest governing body on this, and they've done over 1,000 studies, all concluding that a whole food plant-based diet is healthiest for all stages of life. So from a health point of view, there's no issues with being vegan. Whole food plant-based, you'll thrive on. But we've got to take health aside, because this is a rights justice movement, right? Because there's a victim at the end of someone's choice.
Yeah.
Going back to looking at it from the animal's point of view, what would we justify to continue to pay for them to go into slaughterhouses when we don't have to?
Yeah, we shouldn't have to pay for them to be treated like that.
I think we shouldn't pay for them to go into slaughterhouses, full stop. I don't think that there's a right way to do the wrong thing. Would you agree or disagree?
we need to know right from wrong in the beginning.
What about you? Where do you stand on right and wrong? Is it right or wrong to do this to animals?
That's wrong.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
I agree. What could you do about it?
Like you're doing, teaching people that is happening on your doorstep.
Education's key.
Yeah.
So, education is one thing, but personal accountability is another. What would make you take personal accountability of your actions and stop paying for animals to go into slaughterhouses?
I don't know what the choice is. The choice is like it's going to happen no matter what.
Well, these industries are supply and demand industries, right?
Yeah, supply and demand.
So the whole time you're creating a demand, they're going to fulfill that supply.
Yeah.
So when we go back to that £50, if you take your £50 away from paying for animals to be exploited and murdered, then the demand for animals to be exploited and murdered drops, and therefore you'll achieve systemic change. So if everybody here took personal accountability and stopped paying for animal flesh, for animal secretions, for their milk, for eggs, for leather, for wool, and we stopped contributing towards systems that exploited animals, these systems would die out and stop. Do you think that's something that you'd be encouraged to do?
It should be died out and stopped. Yeah.
Yeah. So would you take personal accountability of your actions?
I would suggest that the government has a stop line, so not as many gets slaughtered in a short length of time, just so they have more in the fridge. It should be as the animals are growing out, like in a field or whatever, as they grow out to their age group to be slaughtered, that's done right.
If I slaughtered an animal at 6 years old or 16 years old, what's the moral difference?
If both of them were cows, let's say cows, if both of them were cows, and at the time of the 16-year-old produces good meat, then that's a good time to do it. If it's 6 years old, if that produces the best meat, then that's a good time to do it.
But you've just taken apart your first part of that
but not
sentence.
slaughter,
Not slaughter.
like do it with humane, do it
Humanely. So you've undone your first part of that sentence because you were saying that we shouldn't do it and we should basically like let them live out their lives.
That's right.
And now you're saying that if they produce the best meat at 6 years old, then that's the time to do it. What you're failing to see here that there's an individual that's being exploited and murdered. Let's flip it on its head. Let's put you in their position. If you produced the best meat when you were 21 years old, would it be okay to someone to come up behind you, shoot you in the back of the head, and chop your body up for burgers?
That's a good question, but animals are bred for that reason.
Okay.
And they don't know that their life is going to be over at that point in time.
What if I bred dogs for dog fighting? Would that be moral or ethical?
No, that wouldn't be right.
What's the difference?
There's no difference in lots of things you say, but you got to weigh out the odds.
So there's no moral difference for me breeding dogs into existence to dogfight as there is for you breeding cows into existence for burgers.
Yeah, so...
Are you against me breeding dogs into existence to dogfight?
No. Well, yeah, I'm against breeding them for dog fights, yeah.
But that's exactly the same justification as you're using as to what we should do for cows.
Yeah, there's two heads of that coin, isn't it?
What is the difference?
There's no difference. It's all the same.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's all the same. So each animal has got their own moral value, right?
That's right.
Why do we give dogs moral value and consideration, but we don't give it to cows or pigs or chickens?
Yeah, I don't think there's enough research in the farm life.
What it is called speciesism.
What's that?
It's called speciesism.
Yeah.
So dogs and cats are given Christian names. We bring them into our homes. We look after them. We care for them. Cows are given numbers, and their execution dates are set on the day when they're born, and they're exploited, and they're murdered for profit, for gain, and for taste pleasure. My question to you is that something you want to support, and can you justify it?
I can't support it, no.
Okay, but by being non-vegan, then you're supporting them industries.
Yeah, being non-vegan, yeah, I'm supporting, but being non-meat eater too, you're supporting that too.
How?
Because you could have said you could stand up on that. More people stand up, that's what happened. Like, less could go on that way.
Do you mean that when you're a vegan and you stand up against the injustice?
Would you stand? If there's people if you guys are doing a protest, like people protesting against slaughtering of animals and all that, would vegans stand up and fight with them?
It's just like it's very.
What do you mean fight with them?
Like stand up with the meat?
Stand up against an injustice? Yeah, 100%. Everyone who's vegan should stand up for animals, 100%.
Yeah.
It should be an obligation. Once you're vegan, you should be obligated to stand up and be a voice for animals.
Yeah, you got to be a voice for all all food. There should be a voice for every
Well, they're not
consumption.
food, are they? They're not food, they're animals.
They're animals, but they're turning into food
Why are they turned into food?
because that's the way the industry is going. No,
Because people pay for it.
yeah, because people.
People like yourself at the moment will pay for animals to go into slaughterhouses, and that's why animals go into slaughterhouses.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's the biggest injustice that you have control of. So the decision now is in your hands after leaving this conversation, whether you continue to support them industries or whether you boycott them industries. In other words, whether you pay for animals to go into slaughterhouses specifically for you to eat them, or you pay for them to get out of them slaughterhouses, become a voice for the animals and liberate them because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, you're right. I should have a voice on that.
All right, mate, let me give you this card. There's a documentary on there by a guy called Gary Orofsky. It's called The Greatest Speech You'll Ever Hear, or The Best Speech You'll Ever Hear. Have a watch of that and think of it more, because I feel like you're sort of glitching all over the place in a minute, and I appreciate it because you've seen
Yeah.
some stuff, and it may be the first time you've seen that stuff. Just remember that the whole time you're not living a vegan lifestyle, you're solely responsible for animals in slaughterhouses. They're in there for you. You can change that if you're against it.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
Thank you.
Have a good day, mate.
You too.
See you soon, buddy.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.